The power of patience. Once upon a time, in a small village, there was a little boy named Rohan. He loved playing in the garden behind his house, where a big apple tree stood tall. The tree was old and wise, with bright green leaves and strong branches. One day, Rohan saw a tiny apple growing on the tree. It was small, green, and not yet ready to eat. But Rohan was excited. "I want to eat this apple now," he said, jumping up and down. The apple smiled and whispered, "Little boy, I need time to grow. If you wait, I will turn red, juicy and sweet." But Rohan didn't want to wait. Every day he checked the apple, feeling impatient. "Why is it taking so long?" he huffed. The wise tree chuckled and said, "Good things take time, my dear. If you pick the apple too soon, it won't be tasty." Rohan sighed but decided to wait. Days turned into weeks, and the apple slowly changed. First yellow, then red and shiny. Finally, one morning, the apple called out, "I am ready now." Rohan gently plucked the apple and took a big bite. It's so sweet and juicy," he cheered. The tree smiled and said, "See, patience brings the best rewards." From that day on, Rohan learned to wait for good things. He understood that nature has its own time, and patience always brings the sweetest rewards. Moral of the story: good things come to those who wait. Value of hard work. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Chintu. He loved playing outside, but never liked working in the garden like his grandpa. One day, Grandpa gave Chintu a small patch of soil and said, "If you take care of it, something wonderful will happen." Chintu was curious. "What will happen?" he asked. Grandpa smiled and said, "Work hard and you'll see." Chintu planted some seeds but didn't want to water them every day. He would rather play with his toys. A week passed and nothing grew. Feeling sad, he told Grandpa, "Nothing is happening." Grandpa chuckled and said, "Try again, but this time take care of it every day." Chintu listened. He watered the soil, pulled out weeds, and checked on his little garden daily. One morning, he ran outside and gasped. Tiny green sprouts were growing. Day by day, his plants grew bigger and stronger. Soon, bright red tomatoes and juicy carrots filled his little garden. Chintu smiled and said, "Hard work really makes a difference." Grandpa patted his back and said, "Yes, my boy, hard work always gives sweet rewards." From that day on, Chintu always worked hard and never gave up. Morale of the story: hard work brings great rewards.
Tia and the Magical Firefly. Once upon a time, in a little village by the sparkling river, there lived a kind and cheerful girl named Tia. Tia loved playing in the fields, chasing butterflies, and helping her mother in the garden. But there was one little problem. Sometimes Tia would tell tiny lies. One evening, as Tia was playing near the garden, she saw a tiny golden firefly, glowing brighter than any she had ever seen before. "Wow, you're so beautiful," Tia said in amazement. The firefly twinkled and spoke in a tiny soft voice. "Thank you, Tia. I am the magical firefly. I can grant you a wish, but only if you promise to always tell the truth." Tia's eyes sparkled with excitement. "I promise," she said quickly. The firefly danced in the air and said, "Very well. Your wish is granted. But remember, if you ever tell a lie, my glow will fade away." Tia was thrilled. She wished for a magical flower that would bloom in different colors every day. The next morning, there it was, right in her garden. A flower that shone red, blue, yellow, and purple. She was so happy. One day, Tia accidentally spilled a jug of milk in the kitchen. When her mother asked what happened, she was afraid she might get scolded. So she said, "The cat knocked it over." As soon as Tia told the lie, the firefly's golden glow started to fade. "Oh no!" Tia gasped. She remembered the firefly's words. Feeling sad, she rushed to find the little firefly. "I'm so sorry, I told the lie," she admitted, hanging her head. The firefly gently flickered and said, "It's okay, Tia. Everyone makes mistakes. But the most important thing is to be honest and tell the truth." Tia nodded and ran back to her mother. "Mom, I spilled the milk. I was scared to tell the truth, but I know it was wrong to lie." Her mother smiled and hugged her. "I'm proud of you for being honest, my dear." Just then, the firefly's golden glow returned, shining even brighter than before. Tia learned that telling the truth might be hard sometimes, but it always makes things better in the end. From that day on, she never lied again, and the magical firefly stayed by her side, glowing brightly forever. Moral of the story: always tell the truth, because honesty makes you shine the brightest. Believe in yourself. Once upon a time, in a big green forest, lived a tiny bird named Lily. She was the smallest bird in her nest, and her brothers and sisters could fly high in the sky. But Lily was afraid. "I can't do it," she said. "What if I fall?" Mama Bird smiled and said, "Believe in yourself, Lily. You are stronger than you think." One day, a big wind blew through the trees. It shook the nest, and Lily wobbled. "Oh no," she chirped, "I have to hold on." But just then, a strong gust lifted her off the branch. She flapped her tiny wings as hard as she could. And guess what? Lily was flying. She soared over the trees, feeling the cool breeze on her feathers. "I can do it. I can fly," she chirped happily. From that day on, Lily never doubted herself again. She knew that with belief and a little courage, she could do anything. Morale of the story: believe in yourself and you can achieve great things. Bunny's true friend. Bunny the rabbit was very friendly. He loved topping around the meadow, playing with his friends, Foxy the fox and Tilly the turtle. One sunny morning, Bunny found a big juicy orange carrot sticking out of the ground. His eyes sparkled with excitement. "Wow! This is the biggest carrot I've ever seen. I want to share it with my best friend," Bunny said happily. He hopped over to Foxy first. "Foxy, look! I found a yummy carrot. Do you want to share it with me?" Bunny asked. Foxy sniffed the carrot and wrinkled his nose. "A carrot? Yuck! I only eat meat. If you ever find something tastier, call me." And with a flick of his tail, Foxy ran off. Bunny's ears drooped. Maybe Foxy isn't my true friend," he whispered. Then he went to Tilly the turtle. "Tilly, I found a big carrot. Will you share it with me?" Tilly smiled and said, "Oh, Bunny, I love carrots, but you found it. You should enjoy it." Bunny's eyes twinkled. "No, Tilly, A true friend shares happiness. Let's enjoy this carrot together. The two friends giggled as they munched on the carrot. Bunny realized that a real friend cares for you, not just what you have. Moral of the story: a true friend is someone who stays with you, no matter what.
Respect your parents. Danny was a little boy who loved to do things his way. He never listened to his parents. When Mama said, "Danny, pick up your toys," he ran away. When Papa said, "Danny, eat your vegetables," he made a funny face and said, "No." One day, Danny went to play outside. Mama said, "Danny, stay in the yard and don't go near the big road." Danny crossed his arms. "I can take care of myself," he thought, and tiptoed toward the road. Vroom! A car rushed by. Danny got scared and jumped back. His heart pounded. What if I had gone further? Just then, Papa ran over and hugged him tight. "Danny, you could have been hurt. That's why we tell you these things." Danny looked down. "I didn't listen. I should have obeyed you and Mama." Mama smiled and held his hand. "We love you, Danny. We only tell you things to keep you safe." From that day on, Danny listened to his parents and always respected them. He knew they cared for him more than anyone else. Moral of the story: always listen to your parents because they love you and know what's best for you. Mobiles are useful or not. Rohan loved his mobile phone. He played games, watched videos, and even forgot to eat sometimes. But his mother always said, "Too much screen time is not good, Rohan. Playing outside is fun too." One evening, while Rohan was busy tapping on his screen, his friend Mira knocked on the door. "Come play with us, Rohan. We're playing hide and seek in the park," she said. Rohan looked at his mobile. "Maybe later," he mumbled, not looking up. Just then, a strange glow filled his room. Poof! A little fairy appeared. "I am the Playtime Fairy. Your mobile is taking all your playtime. Let me show you some real fun." With a flick of her wand, the room changed into a big green park. Rohan saw children laughing, running and playing. The sky was bright and the air was fresh. Rohan kicked a ball, raced with Mira, and even flew a kite. He laughed more than he ever did while playing on his mobile. The fairy smiled. "See, real fun is outside. Your mobile is good for learning, but playing outside makes you strong and happy." Rohan nodded. From that day, he played outdoors every evening and used his mobile only for a short time. Moral of the story: balance is the key. Mobiles are useful, but outdoor play keeps us happy and healthy.
Never give up. Little Rohan was a happy and curious boy. One day, he saw a big staircase leading to a beautiful garden full of flowers and butterflies. "I want to go up," Rohan said excitedly. He put his tiny foot on the first step, but, uh-oh, he lost his balance and sat down with a plop. Rohan frowned, but didn't cry. He stood up and tried again. Step by step, he tried to climb, but each time he slipped back down. His puppy Max wagged his tail and barked, "You can do it, Rohan!" Rohan took a deep breath. He held onto the railing, lifted his foot, and pushed himself up. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. But then he wobbled and sat down again. Rohan didn't give up. He kept trying every day. He watched how his big sister climbed the steps, and he practiced lifting his legs higher. Then, one sunny morning, Rohan placed his foot on the first step, then the second. And then, one by one, he climbed all the way to the top. "I did it!" he cheered. Max barked happily, and his sister clapped. Rohan felt so proud. He had never given up, and now he could enjoy the beautiful garden. Moral of the story: keep trying and you will succeed. Tia and her little time teacher. Tia was a sweet little girl, but she had one big problem. She never did anything on time. She woke up late, ate slowly, forgot her homework, and even missed playtime because she was always late. Her parents scolded her. Her teacher scolded her. Even her neighbors and relatives reminded her, "Tia, time is important." But Tia didn't listen. She thought, why does everyone keep talking about time? One day something magical happened. Tia got a sister, a tiny, soft and giggling little girl named Mia. Tia was excited. But soon she saw something amazing. She woke up early with the sun. She drank milk on time. She slept when it was bedtime. Tia watched her little sister and thought, Mia is so happy. She never misses anything fun. One morning, Tia woke up late and saw Mia laughing in the garden, watching butterflies. Tia missed it. At lunchtime, Tia ate too slowly, and Mia finished first and went out to play. Tia missed it. At night, Mia slept early, feeling fresh. Tia stayed up late and felt tired the next morning. That's when Tia understood. Mia was enjoying all the beautiful moments because she did everything on time. From that day, Tia started waking up early, eating on time, doing her homework quickly, and playing without missing a single moment. She and Mia laughed together, watched butterflies, played in the park, and enjoyed the best time ever. Tia finally realized, time is not a burden, it is a gift. And guess what? Nobody scolded her anymore. Everyone was happy, and so was she. Moral of the story: doing things on time helps us enjoy life's best moments.
Planning lead to success. Kartik and Nitin were best friends, but they had different ways of doing things. Kartik always planned before studying, while Nitin never planned and studied at the last moment. One day, their teacher announced a big test in a week. Kartik made a timetable, studying a little every day. Nitin said, "Why study now? I'll do it the night before." Kartik felt confident because he had studied well. But Nitin panicked, trying to read everything in one night. He became tired and sleepy. Kartik answered all the questions easily, but Nitin forgot many things because he hadn't planned his studies well. Kartik scored great marks, but Nitin didn't do well. He sighed. "I should have planned like you." Kartik smiled. "Yes, a little planning makes everything easier." Moral of the story: planning and preparation lead to success.
Benny the Little Seed. Once upon a time, in a beautiful green garden, there was a tiny seed named Benny. Benny was small and round, and he often felt unimportant. "I wish I were a big, strong tree like Oakley," Benny sighed, looking at the tall oak tree. Or maybe a bright, colorful flower like Rosie. One day the wise old wind whispered, "Be patient, little one. God has a plan for you." Benny didn't understand, but he trusted the wind's words. Then, one morning, the gardener picked Benny up and planted him deep into the soil. It was dark and lonely underground. Benny felt scared. "Why am I here? I want to be big and strong, not hidden away," Benny cried. But as days passed, something amazing happened. Rain watered him. The sun warmed him, and little by little, Benny started growing. First, a tiny sprout appeared. Then, leaves stretched toward the sky. Before long, Benny became a beautiful apple tree. Birds made their nests in his branches, children played under his shade, and everyone enjoyed his sweet apples. Benny smiled. Now I understand. God had a plan for me all along. Moral of the story: even when we don't understand, we must trust that God has a beautiful plan for us. Just like Benny, we will grow into something special. Respect every woman. Once upon a time, in a beautiful kingdom, there lived a young prince named Aryan. He was kind, smart, and loved by everyone. But sometimes, Aryan did not listen when his mother, Queen Rhea, spoke. One day, Queen Rhea decided to teach Aryan an important lesson. She called him and said, "Tomorrow, I will take you on a special journey." Aryan was excited. The next morning, they went to the market. The queen greeted the women selling fruits and vegetables with a warm smile. "Good morning, Meena. Your mangoes look lovely today." Aryan watched as the woman smiled happily. Then, they visited the palace kitchen. The queen thanked the cook. "Thank you, Rani, for making such delicious food every day." Rani beamed with pride. Finally, they stopped by the royal garden. The gardener, an old woman named Tara, was planting flowers. The queen said, "Tara, your flowers make our palace beautiful. Thank you for your hard work." Tara's eyes twinkled with happiness. That evening, Queen Rhea asked Aryan, "Did you see how every woman in our kingdom makes the world better?" Aryan nodded. "Yes, mother. They work hard and deserve respect." The queen smiled. "That's right, my son. Every girl, every woman is special. Always be kind and respect them." From that day on, Aryan always spoke kindly, listened carefully, and treated every woman with respect. The kingdom became even happier, and Aryan grew up to be a great king, one who loved and respected everyone. Moral of the story: every girl and woman deserves kindness, respect, and appreciation. Treat them with love, just as you would like to be treated.